just me. Yeah, okay. Hi folks, we'll start in a few minutes just to give others a chance to join us. Hello and welcome to this webinar where we're going to look at the elements you need to consider when you're doing your badge 3. So there we are. A reminder while you're taking it, you can get more tasks, earn a better income. The first thing I wanted to do was a bit of a recap from badge 2, and that is the metas and the focus keyword. Now, badge 3, you will have the focus keyword. It will be already worked out for you. Your meta's the same, but it's still worth bearing in mind that your metas are very important to the search engines and the work that you're writing and the sites are going to go on. So they've to catch attention, they've to tell the truth, that is, they've to say what the content is about. Some of the focus keywords are just the beginnings of your sentence. You have to make the sentence up. You don't have to take that whole sentence then into the meta. So just the focus keyword part. These badge 3 pieces will also have sub keywords. So you don't have to research them yourself. You just have to include them in the text in a natural way so that they flow with the sentence. These are different texts. They're 800 to 1,000 words long, and they are landing pages. The difference between landing pages and blogs are the landing pages are what your site is about. Now, the sites we build are for, excuse me, the sites we build are for a number of different clients. So the demands are different with each one. But your landing page is what your site is about. It gives information on the content of your site, be that casinos, casino reviews, it might be the homepage landing page, might be telling you about what the rest of the site is about, or telling you how to do your reviews. You're going to be building these sites when you do your badge 4. So this is the content you want to put into the sites for people to read, to search for, and to click links if they're on. Now, some of the work that's going up for badge 3 are for established sites, which you'll find when you click on the domain URL. Some of them are for sites that have got the design up, but the sites themselves haven't been built because we're waiting for the content. And some of them you might just get hello world, the first page of an empty blog. And in that case, you need to have a serious think about what your landing page is going to be about, because obviously it can't cover everything. Otherwise, what's the point of 3 more landing pages? The hair transplant sites, these will be landing pages that will be going in subheadings like destinations, like certain procedures. So you will see them as you look at the list, but they're still landing pages. They're informative, they're up to date, they're friendly tone. Your text is to engage the reader. That is what it's all about. Engage the reader, write for them, answer questions you think they would ask about the site. Your keywords are there for the search engines to find and bring the relevant people to the site. Your tone is similar to the blogs, but maybe not as jolly, if I could say it like that. slightly more formal, but not necessarily so. We don't use the I, but we can use we, our review, our team, the, I don't know, Beauty Matters team is one site. So you could refer to yourself like that when you're writing them. But no, I think, I do, ask me. These are not selling sites. Not if they were, I would be making that clear. But we're not selling anything deliberately, and we're not selling the site. We're selling the content, if you want to put it that way. It's the content we want them to read. So it's got to be attractive, interesting, factual, up to date. We can leave the funnies, the news, the snippets all to the blogs. That's what the blogs are for. Your language, still the same. You're talking to the man in the street. Again, if that's different, you will see it in the instructions and the call to actions. But for the main, the ones that are up for this badge 3 at the moment are all to the man in the street. So it's conversational in a way, not too many, hey, you know, wherefores and thous in it is what I'm saying. It's not a dissertation piece. So do watch your language. Sub-keywords, you need to have them flowing in the text. They're an important part of the search process. And for those of you who maybe didn't see the Badge 2 webinar, though you should have watched it, we search for them on the keyword tool.io. And whoops, what have I done? That's not right, is it? Sorry about that. There it is. There we are. And this is what you'll get. So say you were doing the herb, health and herbs website. What we did is we opened it up. And we looked for different long tail keywords like that one. And we went through clicking them, then I saved them and I added the ones that I felt were relevant to the landing pages we were doing and added it in. I did each landing page like this on every one of the Badge 3 texts. So all these have search engines. I've actually got access to the search volumes, so that helped with the selection on that. So we do you won't find any negative keywords on the Badge 3 that I have up at the moment. But negative keywords are the keywords we don't really want people on the site for because it doesn't help them any. So selling herbs, we're not selling herbs. So to have selling on in our page wouldn't be a helpful keyword. Purchasing herbs, anything that your website is not about, because those people come and they don't stay, and it affects the search engine, it affects your position on Google's page. So negative keywords are an important aspect, and there is a reason that you will see them on the Wordapp task lists. When you're managing your own sites, it's going to be important that you're aware of the negative keywords, because every click is a cost. And if you're getting people there and giving them information they're not looking for, you're going to be losing money and not gaining a customer. When you've done your research, when you've decided to put it into the task, remember to make your headings strong, attractive, especially with a long text. People scan, and if that doesn't interest them, they're going to move on. You can use questions, you can use statements. Don't be ambiguous. Certainly not in this task. That's something you can consider when you're writing your own sites. But its ambiguity isn't useful for the search engines, and certainly not at this stage. Use the co-schedule that I put the links on the Badge 2 webinar to check if you think your heading is strong enough, and adapt it to what you want. But at the end of the day, you're writing this. You know if it feels right, even if it isn't quite as strong as you want it to be. But it gives you pause for thought if you think, oh, this is a brilliant keyword, and it comes in at 30. It's like, oh, what's wrong? And you can play around on the co-schedule header to try and improve it. Editing. You have to edit your text. I am going through too many texts with just silly errors, lack of spacing, lack of a full stop. The headers. Most of you, have been working on Wordapp for a while. Headers always have the first letter capitalized unless you're asked to do it otherwise. H1s, H2s, that's how we do them. Meta is the same. Meta description is written as a normal sentence with punctuation, full stop, and just a capital at the beginning of a sentence. But a meta, first letter capitalized. Headers, first letters capitalized, H1, H2. H3, you can vary. It is a style you can decide yourself. So often if a H3 is being written as a question, it might look better written as a sentence. So that is up to your judgment. The person putting it up on the site can alter that if necessary. But think about how what you've written is going to look on a page. This is doing your Badge 3 is the time to start thinking out of your, oh, I open a tax so I can get €9, €5, €6 for that. Write it, submit it, wait for your money. If you want to improve and earn more in Wordapp, you're going to have to start thinking more about the process of what's going on, more about your writing, where it's going to end up, who's reading it. Submitting with comments. We're not perfect. We make mistakes, and sometimes a URL doesn't work, or a link isn't showing what you want it to show. Maybe one of the keywords doesn't work properly. If that's the case, you can flag it. If you've worked around it, then submit it with a comment. If you feel something would be better, submit it with a comment for the editor. At this moment in time, I'm the one editing, but that will go down for those people with a Badge 3, and they will start editing some of the work that I will publish. So you've got to start thinking, corresponding with each other. Use the submit with comment. It's a way of letting people know, you know, oh, I decided to change this because, or this didn't work because. Correspond with each other. It's also the same, just going back, I said some of the sites might be blank, and I've tried to avoid them, but some have gone up. If you're concerned about what to write or want to have a chat, then reach out to me on Intercom. or via my email, which is Linda with a Y, Lynda, at wordapp.com. I'll quite happily discuss what's needed with you. So don't try and fake it. Just contact me. If you've got my Skype address, then just ping me on there. So unless there's any questions, which I would certainly like from people, I think that's about covered badge 3. Some of you have been writing landing pages, and you do know the different from blogs. But I've been getting a lot of blogs that are like very small landing pages. So do remember in your editing to check that you're not repeating. Have your checklist, your personal checklist that I've talked about before. Discover your favourite words and how many times you're actually using them. I read a text the other day that had similarly in 7 times. So just look out for them. You can still use the word, just not 7 times in a 500 word text. So use Grammarly. You should all have the free Grammarly. But again, Grammarly is a tool. Sometimes it'll make suggestions. Grammarly tends to take out transition words, so do be careful of that, because SEO likes transition words. It likes that flow to a sentence. So please pop your questions if you've got any on the question and answer, which I will try and have a look at, or in the, no, there's none on there, or in the chat. Can I open chat? Yes. Nope. Come on, folks, you can talk to me, ask me questions. This is an important task. And I've missed out one huge area and nobody's asking me about it. And that's the reward points. For the people who pass, once you've passed badge 2, I will send you the reward points to open badge 3. Passing badge 3, we then move on to badge 4, and that's currently being trialled out with the Finnish team, and it's more a 1-to-1 process, although we could possibly do 2-to-1. I will know more on my Tuesday webinar, which you're all invited to attend. She says hopefully, fingers crossed. I've asked a lot of questions. Let me open this one. Sorry, look at that. Submit with the test. One notes, some keywords say from with the text. No, they don't have to. Sub keywords from the keyword tool are already done for these texts, and we don't use everyone, but quite happily for you to go on and have a look and see if there's others that you want to incorporate in the text. Don't make it over heavy. These keywords are identified so that Google's search engine can read them. You know, you don't want a page just completely full of sub-keyword text. It's got to flow naturally. But I want you to know the process, because once you start designing these texts yourself, you're going to have to know how to search for the relevant keywords, how to identify the negative keywords, and how to use the keyword tool, because you will have to use them when you're building websites. It's not just about building the sites, it's about the content that goes on it. Does that answer your question, Robinson? You can see I'm sharing it on my screen. Just move it to there if anybody else wants to ask me a question. So, oh, this will be dreadful for anybody not knowing me, but my brain's just gone blank. I do apologise. I have to look at my list. Yeah, badge 4 info. So I'm just waiting to see if there's any more questions pop up. For some reason, Zoom isn't letting me know that they're coming. So I don't want to bore you by completely reiterating. I'm looking forward to moving on to the next stage with you and getting you involved in building the sites and all that aspect of it. For some, it'll be something they want to do and want to build on. For others, it's knowledge they have. It'll help them with the writing, but they might not necessarily want to pursue it full time. The choice is going to be yours. It can be quite demanding. There's a lot to learn. Self-study is basically the element that is in every task, every job you do with Wordapp. Technology is constantly developing, SEO is constantly developing, and we've just got to keep up with it and make sure we present the right elements for the job. So I hope you enjoy writing your badge 3s. I've tried to work hard and make them as interesting as possible. If you can't find what the other landing pages on the site are, again, contact me and I'll tell you. There isn't a facility on the task to actually put that on, but there's no reason you can't contact me and ask me, and to just give you an idea of what it is you're writing about, so it flows all together. And if it's an empty one, as I said, please contact me. We'll have a conversation and come up with the info for them. Time has run against me, I'm afraid, to actually get all these sites prepped with all the landing pages, so I've had to put them up. But I don't mind people contacting me and I will help them. Those of you who know me, again, can contact me on Skype, the others by email. And I think that's about it. If there's no other questions, I'll just, that's not up, so I have to open it. Nope, no more questions. Anything relating to the badges at all? No. Okay, this webinar will be being attached to the badge 3 tasks, so I hope you will find it useful. As I say, I gave you a lot of resources on badge 2 webinar, which you can also find on YouTube if you just want to recheck those if you haven't got them. And I'm a resource for you as much as I can be. Can I just add just one thing in there? I am a freelancer just like you. I don't work 24/7. We're all on different time scales. We're all on different time. I can't think of the word. Time zones. That's the word I was looking for. So what I'm trying to do is give out reward points every couple of days, and the same with the publishing. I'm sort of saving them for a few days and then doing them. Anybody who fails, I will write to them by email, discuss what the problem was and what the next step is. For those that pass, I will be contacting you and telling you the next points are heading your way. For those that pass badge 3, hopefully by Tuesday I'll know more what is happening and who's going to lead the badge 3 training. So I don't know if it's myself or it's going to be Joan, so we'll just have to wait and see on Tuesday. And then I'll probably have to redo this webinar to put in all the bits that I'm not too sure about at the moment. Thank you for listening. If there's no more questions, which I can't see, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for attending. And as I say, please get in touch with me if you find anything that you need to query or you want to know more about. Thank you. Good night.